So then, for this course, I'm using Google Chrome as my browser of choice. Hopefully you are too. It comes with some developer tools and a console, which will really help us a lot when working with JavaScript. Now you can open up the tools panel by pressing F12 inside your browser, and that opens on the console tab right here. So the console is like a sandbox area in a browser, which we can use to test JavaScript code. We can print out values and basically just play around in it. So I could type some JavaScript code directly inside here and just press enter to run it. For example, we'll do alert again. Alert and just say hello and then press enter, and it's going to run that JavaScript for us. So it's a nice little area to play around with some code when we're learning. Now we can also log things to the console, this thing right here, from our JavaScript file. So say for example I wanted to output some kind of value over here in the console when this JavaScript file is run. I can do that. I can do that by just saying console.log and then in parentheses what I would like to log to the console. So for example, I could just say 1 and then end this statement with a semicolon. Save it and come over here and we can see this 1 value over here. Now if we wanted to add something else, we could just come below and say console.log and then 2. And this is going to run in order because JavaScript runs from top to bottom. So it's going to log this first, then this. So if we save that and preview, we can see 1, then 2. Now, don't get too hung up about what this all means, like dot right here and this log function and the console. Don't worry too much about it just yet. We're going to cover all this kind of stuff later on. Just know that this is a function right here that we can use to log out values to the console. And that is really going to help us when we're learning the language. So for the first few chapters of this course, while we learn the building blocks of the language, we'll be using this console to test our code and see some results. And then later in the course, when we've learned all of the basics, we'll move on to manipulating content in the browser itself, in a web page, and other cool things too. Now, if you're not using Google Chrome, then shame on you, but most likely the browser that you have has some kind of console. In Firefox, you can open this by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus K, and in Internet Explorer, use F12 to open up the DevTools, then hit the console tab at the top to see the console, okay? So now we know how to use this console over here and how we can log to the console from our JavaScript file. In the next video, I want to move on and talk about some of the most basic concepts in the language, variables and constants.